There are a lot of people that use the Create mod. The Create mod is a mod that has almost 140 million downloads on CurseForge, and with that many players, there is undoubtedly going to be so many different ways people play this mod. So I've gone ahead and compiled 20 different ways people play the Create mod, and this is just poking a little fun at people. None of this is intended to be malicious in any way. You know, we all do this, we all are guilty of some of these things, and I would love to hear some of the habits you have that, I've listed here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, for our first type of player here, we have the Cog Spammer. I have been accused of this in my own videos, even by my own friends. Can you really believe that? This type of player is the one who will just throw cogs on everything, absolutely everything, with no regard for shafts or gearboxes, or really any other mode of transferring SEU. I know this gets on a lot of people's nerves, just seeing so many cogs going every which way. Some of them don't even make sense. I mean, look at this. But yeah, these people will get the job done by any means necessary. And you know what? To a certain extent, you gotta respect that. You gotta respect someone that's willing to do what it takes and not be afraid to just do a little bit of cog spam. You know, it's gonna be behind a wall most times anyways. People won't see it. Now, for our next type of player here, we are going for the big ones right off the bat. We have the Train Enthusiast, and I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear a word about this horrible train that I've constructed. You can tell that I'm not very experienced in trains, but there are definitely so many people in the Create mod who absolutely love and adore trains. And it's not a surprise why. You know, these things are incredibly cool. They can unite an entire world by rail lines. They can carry items and fluids and go every which way. It's honestly, this was an amazing update by the Create mod, but I don't want any hate. I don't want any hate. I'm not the biggest train fan. I'm not the biggest train user. You know, I rely on other people to do it for me. I'm not going to lie, which is why we need the Train Enthusiast. We need the big altruistic player who's going to connect everyone in the world by these rail lines. Since honestly, if you look big on the map, you know, these rail lines usually look amazing, and it's so nice to be able to see everything connected. And, you know, really, everyone just has a better time. Everyone has a better time when this kind of player is on the server, and they just make everything come together. Following that, we have something I used to do a lot myself. And let me preface this by saying that there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. We all have a choice, but there is definitely a type of player that likes to go on YouTube or likes to go on createmod.com or really anywhere you can find these amazing schematics and just paste them in the world all willy-nilly without really knowing how they work, so that when things inevitably go wrong, you know, not due to any fault of the creator, but just due to, you know, Create mod being weird or schematics being weird, it's a nightmare to troubleshoot. Now, this lovely design here, I do want to give proper credit, is made by Kindle Bubble Dump. I will leave a link to his channel in the description. He makes some of the most insane schematics I've ever seen. These things are absolutely jam-packed with features. And honestly, yeah, I don't understand half of the schematics from this guy. And I really like to make my own contraptions and, you know every single part of how they're working. But if you just want something in your world, I'm not going to lie, this guy's going to be your best bet. But I'm going to be sticking to my simple farms. Next up, we definitely have something, yet again, that I'm very guilty for. I feel like I'm just calling myself out a lot. But this is the kind of player that will tell themselves, I just want to automate the resources for my base. You know, why go ahead and manually get so many resources just to build that base when really, if you just really make everything messy, you know, put the water wheels everywhere, just get some power, you know, get a smelter here, we can start automating. But guys, let me tell you right now, from so much experience in playing Minecraft vanilla and modded, it never ends. The cycle never ends. It's always going to be one more resource, one more chest, and the amount of times I have burned out just from having this absolute monster of a base, guys. It's not always the most fun, but hey, you know what? Sometimes we gotta appreciate these players. Sometimes they're the ones providing resources for everyone else to build their super pretty bases. Speaking of things that are super pretty, we have the Overengineer. Now, this is not a negative connotation at all. These are the kind of people that combine form and function beautifully with the Create mod. And I have tried, you know, just a little bit of redstone here. I saw this on a Reddit post somewhere, but someone had a design where, this just goes and harvests all the crops. It goes up and all the way back, and it goes ready for another turn. And things like this are completely and utterly unnecessary. But that is not to say it is incredibly cool, because this thing is an absolute monster at just, flashy points. Honestly, a thousand flashy points here, because I love things like this. I feel like it's what the create mod is all about. And form over function all day long. I love things like this. I feel like that example of the over-engineered gantry shaft is the perfect segue into the Redstone Genius. These are the people that were making calculators and computers and everything you can imagine with Redstone and vanilla. And they come to the Create mod, and they are just absolutely giddy with excitement at just how many components and different things you can do with Redstone. You have things like the toggle latches, which replace T flip-flops. You have, Redstone links, wireless Redstone finally in Minecraft, and the gantry shaft. The gantry shaft is the new player's bane of existence for so many people. I know it definitely was for me. It took me a while to wrap my head around the gantry shaft, but I will tell you, once you do, the gantry shaft is pretty cool. It is incredibly useful. Honestly, one of the most useful things, especially for something like a hose pulley early game. But you know what? I won't keep talking about this since I don't really understand it either. I don't understand how people make these amazing redstone contraptions most of the time. I want to be like them. Teach me, please. Speaking of things I wish I could be taught, I wish I could be taught how these amazing Copycat Designer people just do what they do. Now, if you aren't familiar with this mod, it is the Copycats mod. It is an add-on for the Create mod, and it lets you just make fake blocks, essentially, in which you can, transform these blocks into another block. And these, oh, don't even get me started. People use this mod to bring incredible amounts of detail to their builds. I was going to make something fancy, but I couldn't even wrap my head around it, and I couldn't find a tutorial, but I once saw someone make an entire medieval shopping market, wheelbarrows and all, with this mod. It was insane, it was crazy, but I loved it, and I absolutely love the people who are able to just do crazy amounts of detailing with this mod. It really levels up their builds, and it really downgrades mine, since I don't even mess. I don't even try with this mod. It's so cool. I really feel like it's something almost every Create mod pack needs to have, if you have that one aesthetic builder in your group. Now, another type of player you may have in your group is the Speedrunner. This is a no-nonsense type of player. They are going straight to the brass age. They are going to the nether. They are getting these blaze burners. And yeah, they are skipping everything. And honestly, you gotta love these players. They're the ones providing those early game resources. They are letting people use these brass funnels, which is the filter. The filter on these brass funnels, it's really a necessity. Come on, guys. The andesite funnels are not that good. The quicker you can get to brass, the better, is what I believe, to be honest. Even though I am a big, in support of the early game, I can't lie. I love getting to the brass stage super quick. So I honestly, I can't hate on these players. You gotta love them. You gotta love what they bring to the server. And you gotta just bask in that glory with them. Now, what that speedrunner may or may not be also doing is organizing their toolbox. This is the type of player we all aspire to be. These toolboxes are incredibly useful to just fill with stuff and take anywhere with you, since you can access them in a nice little menu here. Now, I actually haven't put anything in these toolboxes, but hey, I think that speaks more about me than it does about anything else. I am clearly not the best at using these toolboxes, but I wish I was. You see someone that is on it with these toolboxes, they grab them all, they show up to your base, they're like a magician, just pulling things out of everywhere, and they have everything. They have their whole setup ready to go. These are the type of people you want in your base. Now, there's some of us that see the organized toolbox people, and we want to be just like them. We craft these toolboxes and we try. But we don't do too well. We don't color code our toolboxes, and we will have things like tools and armor in our toolboxes all the time. I'll just end up putting some diamond helmets and random tools in my toolboxes. I had a toolbox full of diamond shovels for no reason. It just absolutely gets horrible because I want to be organized. The passion is there, the dream is there, but I'm just not as good as the toolbox organizers over there. I really wish I was. But yeah, I'm just a messy guy sometimes. I can't lie. Next up, we have the add-on players. Now, these aren't add-ons like your copycat blocks that just add some decoratory blocks. I'm talking about the add-ons that change the game almost entirely. Right here is Create the Factory Must Grow, and this is a scary mod to me, since honestly, I don't know how these people do it. I've never used this mod before, but look at it. Look at this heavy oil. It just looks so industrial. And anytime I bring this mod up to my friends, they just say they're going to industrialize the entire world to the point of no return. And it is honestly, I don't know if I want to see that. You know, you got to respect these people, though. They know the mod in and out. They've done Create so many times that they're ready to spice it up. And yeah, these people, they gotta know Create just better than everyone else. Next up, we have our mechanical arm lovers. Now, there's nothing wrong with throwing a mechanical arm in there every once in a while, but these people love mechanical arms, and they will absolutely use them anywhere we can. Even if, it would just be much easier to, do some conveyor belts or, do some chutes. Nah, it's gotta be mechanical arms for these people. But these things only transfer one block at a time. If there is a way to make them transfer more at a time, like 64, please tell me. I love these things. And can you really blame anyone that loves mechanical arms this much? I mean, because come on, just look at these little guys. They literally dance to music. I mean, even though there's no music playing right now, but these things are just so cute and adorable. And they can even wear goggles. I mean, come on, I'm sure everyone knows about this by now. But look at this guy, he's wearing goggles. Next up, we have the person that produces way too many stress units. And you might notice I'm a little bit far from all these steam engines because they're so loud. These things are incredibly loud, and I am staying as far away from possible. But I still want you guys to have a good view. Now, this type of player, they just go on. They never want to run out of power, and they might even try selling the power to their friends. I mean, it is very admirable. I mean, these people, they might be providing power for the whole server. It's just something so methodic about knowing you are never gonna run out of stress units. I gotta respect them. These people have a goal and they're going to achieve it by any means necessary. Now, this next type of player is again something I have fallen into quite a few times. We have the server lagger. This person, just through their minute choices, will absolutely lag the server. They don't use clutches, they don't use threshold switches. They will choose the vertical conveyor belts over the encased train drives, and they will make all sorts of farms that rely just purely on falling items. Now I can't blame them too much, since I quite literally have a lot of farms like that in my current SMP series. And these people, oh, don't even get me started on the packages. I once had a server crash because there were just so many packages in the factory. Oh, it is a nightmare when people just... Me specifically, I'm not even gonna lie. When I make these farms that are absolutely abysmal at being resource efficient on the server. So you know what? I feel like it's a goal for all of us. A goal for all of us to be a little bit more friendly to our server members and, make farms that, aren't that bad on server lag. Someone you don't have to worry about lagging the server, though, is the vanilla player. Now, this might be you. We might have started off like this, but this is the person that just wants to play Minecraft with their friends. And all their friends love the Create mod. And they are, kind of being roped into it. And they are seeing all sorts of crazy things happening while they just have their bed, they have their furnaces, their little chest. They're just here to hang out with their friends. And you know what? Sometimes they don't want to learn the Create mod. Hey, that's okay. They're just here to have a good time, and they want to be with their beloved friends. You gotta respect them. You gotta, just respect their wishes. We can all play Minecraft the way we want. And the vanilla player, they know what they want. And that's something good. That's something good. Now, something that is also good, more than good even, is the aesthetic player. These people understand the Create mod so well that they can perfectly combine form and function to make these absolutely beautiful Create contraptions. It'll usually be some glass where they can see things happening behind the scenes, since the Create mod can get a little dangerous. But I believe these players embody perfectly what the Create mod was made for. Just being able to see all the processes happening in the world, and it is so beautiful when that happens. I love these type of players, and I strive to be like them, even though, I might not be the best. You can see this might not be the prettiest thing, but I certainly have tried, and you can see just how much wood I've burned here. I love this, and I love these type of players. I love seeing the absolute crazy bases they come up with. Next up is a type of player that I need to exist. I cannot be alone in this, guys. You cannot let me be alone in this. Please tell me there's at least one of you like this. Come on. You got the portable players. These people see the minecart contraptions. They see that they can make things portable, and they make everything they can portable. Purely just because it's fun. Even if it lags your game, even if it's not the most practical. We got silly things like Stunny's portable casino. And I am absolutely obsessed with minecart contraptions. I even made a whole video on it a while back just because I love these things so much. So please don't let me be alone in this. Something I certainly know I'm not alone in is the Steampunk Player. These people see all the amazing things the Create mod can do, and their mind instantly goes to steampunk. Now, if you can't tell what this is a pretty poorly made steampunk chimney here. I just tried to show the smoke coming out, but there is something very important here. The copper blocks are going to be this kind of player's best friend. I mean, come on. Come on, just look at these oxidized cut copper stairs. You cannot tell me that these don't make just a beautiful building block. And really, you know, just all the kinds of copper here. I love how shiny they are. I love the colors. I know you guys gotta love those colors too. Come on. I'm not alone in this. All of you are with me. The steampunk age is just amazing, and I love blending it with the Create mod since I feel like it fits so perfectly. Next up, we have the backbone of any server. This is going to be the construction worker. These people have absolutely massive drills. It might even be so much bigger than this. It might be double, triple, you know, quadruple the size of this drill. And these people have block placers. You know, they have every kind of thing on a minecart contraption. You know, they might be the portable players just like me, but these things come with a function, a use. These people want to get things done. They're going to terraform the land for their friends, and you know you're hitting this person up when you need some land cleared. When there's a big job that needs to be done, this kind of person is there. They're the kind of person that's going to put in those heavy work, put in those heavy hours, and we all need a construction worker in our server. Last but certainly not least, we have the trader. This person is going to go around the entire world and try to share their goods with everyone by selling it. Most of the time for diamonds, they might have some other kind of, you know, agreed upon currency, but I feel like diamonds really just is the baseline. And guys, this kind of player is awesome. They encourage economy, they encourage sharing resources, because most of the time these prices are pretty cheap. You know, everyone can afford them, gives everyone a fair shot, and the Create mod has such an elegant system of just being able to set up a shop and share your resources. So you gotta love this kind of player. At heart, you know they're a good person, or, you know, they are a raging capitalist, which we can also respect, you know, some friendly competition. So that's 20 different types of Create mod players. Now I hope you found something that describes you, maybe one of your friends. Remember, this is all in good fun. There are so many different ways to play, and you know what? All of them are correct. This is Minecraft. We're literally modding the game. We are doing whatever we want. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to hit that sub button, you know, see more of my content. I would love to see you around again. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.